MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. Just want to put out a video talking about the new additions to UFC Ottawa. UFC Fight Night 89, UFC Ottawa, which is taking place June 18th in Ottawa, of course. The venue, I don't think's been set. I'm guessing it's going to be taking place at the Canadian Tire Centre, where the Ottawa Senators play. I'm guessing, I'm hoping. That way it'd be probably easier to get tickets because it holds close to 20,000 in that arena. So, you know, of course, UFC announced that card on the UFC Unstoppable press conference. They announced that, you know, UFC is going to have a card held in Ottawa. And the main event is going to be Rory MacDonald, the Red King, taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That's a huge fight. That's a fight I was anticipating for a while, ever since Wonderboy Thompson demolished, absolutely put on a striking clinic against Johnny Hendricks. Now, since that happened, you know, there was talk, you know, maybe Wonderboy would get a title shot. I mean, the way he demolished Johnny Hendricks, a former champion, a guy that beat Robbie Lawler, who is the present champion, a guy, in my opinion, who beat George St. Pierre, who is the best welterweight of all time. In my opinion, Johnny Hendricks did enough to win that fight. Being the challenger or not, Johnny Hendricks, in my opinion, did enough to win that fight against GSP back in 2013. So, you know, the way Stephen Wonderboy Thompson demolished Johnny Hendricks, I mean, MMA fans, hardcore MMA fans knew that was a huge statement. So he was either going to get a title shot, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, of course, was going to get a title shot next, or possibly what I was thinking was Rory MacDonald, who's the number one ranked contender at welterweight, who's a guy, Rory MacDonald is a guy, you know, who's Canadian, of course, which is perfect for this card. And, you know, he had the fight of the year. He was in the fight of the year last year, possibly the fight of the decade. I've heard multiple pro fighters say that Rory MacDonald versus Robbie Lawler, which took place July 2015, was the fight of the decade, perhaps. Now, you know, so that's what we're dealing with here. Rory MacDonald, the Red King, is taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, a 57-0 kickboxer, the best kickboxer ever to grace the octagon. He truly is. And he's going to be taking on the Red King. I mean, what more can I say? But I'm rambling on here. But what I'm making this video for is because there's been another fight added to that card. I mean, that main event is enough for me. I'm going. I mean, I live an hour away from Ottawa, so I'm going. I'm going to be there live. Shout out to MMA Lou 23. He's got a great channel, great MMA channel. He's also an MMA fighter as well. So go subscribe to him. He was telling me that, you know, he's Canadian as well, and you know, he's been to a lot of UFC events, most of the Toronto, you know, UFC events that have been held in the past. And he was telling me, you know, he was at the Jones-Gustafsson fight back in 2013, and he had, you know, nosebleeds, seats high up, and he ended up somehow getting really low, improving his seats. I think he just snuck in, from what he was telling me, and he got, you know, one of the better seats in the house. He was in the you know, you got three rows, three sections in an NHL arena, or you know, an arena stadium. He was in the first section, but the highest you could be at the first section. And he said the view from there was unbelievable. When you're up high, when you're in the nosebleeds, he says you're basically watching it on the screen. It's so far away, it's tough to really tell who's getting the better of who during the fight. And he said that, you know, when he was in that first row, that first section, high up, but in that first ring, that first section, the view was unbelievable. And, you know, he witnessed John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson, my personal favorite, you know, UFC fight of all time. That's a war. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. So, you know, he was telling me this, so that makes me want to, you know, I'm going to be going to Ottawa. I'm going to pay a little extra. I'm going to try to get in that bottom low section, so I can get a good view, you know, and really be into the fight. He was telling me, you know, he was up screaming and yelling during the fight, you know, things that, you know, you might not even do when you're at home watching the television, even though a lot of hardcore fans do that. But anyway, rambling on again, the card that has been added to UFC Ottawa, UFC Fight Night 89, is none other than Donald Cowboy Cerrone, and Patrick Cote. I'm guessing, I'm sure of it, that'll be the co-main event. You know, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, a huge UFC star. If anyone knows, I mean, I know Cerrone's last fight was at welterweight. Was that Cerrone's first welterweight fight? Because from what I've seen, he's mainly fight at lightweight at 155 most of his career. Let me know if anyone knows if his last fight was his first fight at 170 at welterweight. But he's fighting Pat Cote, and you know, Pat Cote, you know, he's got some KO power. He can submit you. He can take you to the ground. He can wrestle you. He can grind you out. He's a strong man, you know. And Donald Cerrone, as much as he's, you know, the taller fighter, the longer fighter, the more technical striker, this is going to be a good fight. I mean, I'm really, I'm happy. Pat Cote's a Canadian. You know, Donald Cerrone, he's all heart. He comes to fight. He brings it. Pat Cote brings it. This is going to be an awesome card. It's shaping up, you know. I was going to the Ottawa card regardless, even if it was a shit card. And this is a decent card. I mean, it's an awesome free card. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Rory MacDonald, number 1 and 2 at the welterweight division, one of the strongest divisions in the UFC. That's the main event. Co-main event, you got, like I just said, Donald Cowboy Cerrone against Patrick Cote. Patrick the Predator Cote. This is going to be an awesome fight. Let me know what you guys think. This is an awesome card. Any of my subscribers, anyone listening that, you know, is from Canada or, you know, is near the Ottawa area, let me know. I'm going to be going to this fight. Like I mentioned earlier, I gave a shout out to MMA Lou 23. Lou is spelled W or Lou, you know, obviously. But you know, he told me that you know, he's going as well, so we're gonna meet up perhaps. But anyone else, let me know, and let me know what you think of these fights. Let me know what you think of UFC Ottawa, UFC Fight Night 89. If you like the video, subscribe. That's it for this one. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace.